No, the only dog in the zoo.
Elvis.
All right, Elvis, he's on the hunt, hopefully using that nose. Dogs have a sense of, Elvis is today. All right, I didn't see it.
Good,
All right,
Ellie,
that was easy.
and that's
Sometimes
Shauna.
we make it hard, sometimes we make it easy. It just depends. They have a sense of smell that is 100 times stronger than we can. And so basically, in this specific instant, we taught Elvis to find a lemon scent. And we could put that lemon scent on any object, and then he finds it.
Treats.
Today, he found a stuffed koala to represent one of the conservation dogs named Smudge that actually rescued dozens of koalas that lost their home after the 2019 fire. She was trained to find them, point them out, and then they were able to find them homes. They, of course, didn't shape the koala like Elvis does with his stuffed animal, but again, you get the point. We also have dogs that go out and find cheetah scat, which is just a very fancy name for cheetah poop, so that scientists can study them without bothering them. We have dogs that help find some endangered species, like this, I can't remember the name of it. It's a frog that's endangered. Thank you, mountain yellow-legged frog. That the dogs have been trained to help find that. And even dogs can help find poachers and catch them in the act. So they really do help us a lot with conservation. And I think if a dog can do it, then we can all try to do our part as well. Elvis specifically, not only does he show you how we use dogs in conservation, he also has a very important role here at the San Diego Zoo. He was supposed to work for Guide Dogs of America. It's a very challenging program. I hear that less than 50% of those dogs pass. So we don't like to say that he failed the program, but he didn't pass the program. So, you know, it's okay. However, at the time that he didn't pass, he kind of needed a new home. And we had a wildlife critter that needed a friend as well. Would you like to meet her?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you know when she is ready, representing our African Savannah Hub, where we're working to protect the big ones like lions, leopards, cheetahs, elephants, rhinos, and of course the habitat they share. Here she comes. This is Ilunga.
Where's Victoria
South African
Drena?
cheetah. Now, if you're just walking in, we're just going to have you take a seat.
They spend more
right
time
away.
there than here.
No, not run down any stairs. Just take a seat right away. Parents, help me out here. We need a kid to sit down. Thank you so much. Okay, we do want to be able to bring Ilunga up close and personal to all of you, and I do need everybody to cooperate and make sure that it is a nice, safe environment for you. But really, I'm worried about my cat, so please sit down. Thank you. All right. Now, Ilunga, like I said, South African cheetah, and she is a beautiful representation of that cat. As she sits around here and kind of looks around, you can really look at the gorgeous adaptations that these cats do have. These two do everything together, by the way.
She said
except
doo-doo.
for eat, because Elvis would steal her food, not the other way around, right? So as she dips down in the water right there, taking a little dip in there, you can really get actually a good look at her tail while she's doing that. The tail of a cheetah works to help.
We can't see the tail.
There
we go.
After their prey. So they can be making a 22-foot leap when they are chasing after that gazelle. And if the gazelle decides to turn to the left or to the right, they will simply use their tail like the rudder of the boat and flick it from one side to the other so that they can catch up to that gazelle and change direction in mid-air. As she walks on over here, you actually also might be able to see those claws. They are more like Elvis's claws. They're semi-retracted out. And so that what I mean by that is she cannot bring her claws all the way back into the sheath like your cat at home can or any other cat species. Okay, so Victoria has decided to bring her up close so you can really take a look. So everybody just please cooperate.
Nope. She asked her to jump up and she didn't want to.
She looks like she's running the show today, so she looks pretty good. So good job, you guys. Thank you so much. So take a look at those claws, like I said. They are always sticking out, and what helps with that is traction. We said that a cheetah is the fastest land mammal in the world. Does anyone know how fast
sorry,
they can run?
I moved my foot.
55 to 70.
Sorry,
Good
Ilunga.
job, right there. 55 to 70 miles per hour, and their acceleration is 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds. So she uses those claws to grip the ground,
Handsome
kind of
boy.
like cleats, to get up to those speeds at a very quick rate.
Where are they going?
Now she has a tiny little head for that 90-pound body as well, and that gives her more aerodynamics. We call that a bullet-shaped head. And then she's giving you a great look at those beautiful stripes right down her face. Only cheetahs are the only spotted cats that have those black stripes right here. They're called her malar stripes. We call them Serengeti sunglasses because they use those stripes to deflect the sun away from their face so that they can hunt in the middle of the day in the hot, hot sun, 90 degrees, basically so they don't have to compete with other larger predators that would steal their food, that usually hunt at night or at dusk and dawn. So nature has given them all of these beautiful things to help them hunt and do well. However, it's still a very challenging life out there in Africa. There's about 100,000 cheetahs 100 years ago, and there's about 7,000 cheetahs right now. Now, she did a great job out here. We're gonna thank her for coming on out. That was Ilunga and her friend Elvis. And just so you know, so I don't end on a sad note, I did say there are only 7,000 left in the world today, but we really are doing our part to try to keep them around for future generations. We do have the second most successful breeding facility over in Escondido, the Safari Park, which is where Ilunga was born, the 159th cheetah there. And we're also really helping several organizations, Cheetah Fund Conservation and a couple other over in Africa that have programs going on that are helping really combat poaching, combat the difficulty with farmers, conflicting with cheetahs. And what we do is we send them money so that they can help fund all of those projects. And we also send volunteers that do that as well. So really, I'm very, very loud right now, I can tell. You being here today really does help with all of those projects that we have going on over there. So thank you so much. All right, now I think it is my time to go, and I'm supposed to introduce my next co-trainer. I believe it is Rena coming out today. Oh, Ellie. I was wrong. It's Ellie.
Hi, I'm Rena. Just kidding.
They've done that before.
My name's Ellie. I'm another wildlife care specialist here, and we're going to keep the things rolling around here, hopefully pretty smoothly. Now, for our next guest, we're actually going to go back to that One Health approach to saving species worldwide. Now, this ambassador represents this category by being an apex predator, but it might not be the apex predator that you first think of, because she is an apex predator of the skies. So please help me welcome our beautiful Eurasian eagle owl. This is Einstein, everyone. Now, we can break down that name a little bit. So Eurasian tells you where they're from, right? So they are found all over Europe and Asia, but the eagle part of their name simply comes from their size. They are not an eagle and owl hybrid. They are simply one of the largest owl species in the world. You're gonna get a nice up-close view of just how large she is. Now, speaking of her size, do we have any guesses on how much Einstein weighs?
Comment your guesses.
30?
30 kilos.
5, 3, 20. Those are very, very different. Well, whoever said 5, you're right on the nose. She is a whopping 5 pounds, everyone. Pretty misleading, but of course she is covered in very light feathers, but she is covered in about an inch, maybe even an inch and a half thick layer of feathers. So she is all fluff. Now, also, birds have very specialized bones and skeletons that are porous, which means that they kind of look like honeycomb or a sponge. So even their bones have tiny little holes all throughout to help make even their skeleton nice and light to be able to fly. Now, one of the first things you might notice about Einstein are probably those big, beautiful eyes of hers, right? Now, there are many fun facts about owl eyes that I love, but one of my favorites is that their eyeballs are actually fixed into their skull, which means they cannot move them to the left, to the right, up, down. In order to look in any other direction, they have to turn their entire head. Now that's probably why a lot of us might have seen some cartoons where owls can turn their heads all the way around in circles, right? Well, of course, that is not true. It's not quite how it works. But they can turn their heads about 270 degrees. Now that would be looking over our right shoulder and seeing what is over our left. So that's pretty incredible. Now, along with those big, beautiful eyes, of course, comes incredible eyesight. Now, it's been said that if owls could read, they would be able to read you a newspaper from across a football field, day or night. Pretty incredible. Now, that's only superpower number 1. Number 2 is their sense of hearing. Now, they have very strange asymmetrical ears, which means one is going to be up here, and the other is down here, kind of like a Picasso painting. Now, this is to help them triangulate and pinpoint the tiniest of sounds, including a mouse's heartbeat from under 1 foot of snow. Pretty amazing. Now, superpower number 3. Yes, we're not done yet. The third is very specialized to owls. They have the power of silent flight. Now, their feathers are very specialized to have tiny little gaps in the filaments on the end to allow that airflow to pass right through those feathers and create absolutely no sound. So they are literally the ultimate apex predator of the sky. And she did a fantastic job out here. So one more time for Einstein, our Eurasian eagle owl.
And Shauna. That's Ellie.
All right. Now, for our next guest, we're going to make sure everything is nice and secure because it is for your protection. We are going to move to our Pacific Islands Conservation Hub, where you are going to meet one of the rarest canines in the world.
The old guys.
They also are apex predators. So, we're going to make sure you are safe by keeping them over here, so don't worry. They are the
lead-up is
biggest
intense.
and
Oh my gosh.
baddest
Oh my gosh.
canine
Oh.
on the island of Papua New Guinea. So please help me welcome our very adorable New Guinea
Good, they spend more
singing
time there than
dogs,
they do here.
everyone. Yeah. Now, that wasn't a joke, maybe the ferocious part, but they are in fact the apex predator of the island of Papua New Guinea. They are the biggest, baddest thing on that island, believe it or not. Now these two, this one in the center is Piccolo, and his brother over here on your right, who does not want that piece of food, that is Zildjian. Now they are brothers from the same litter. They do look a little bit different. One is much fluffier than the other, but they are both very picky eaters. So you might watch this whole segment and they will not eat a single piece that we offer. But I did say they are the rarest canine species in the world, or one of them at least. And that is because, unfortunately, there are only about 200 to 300 of them left. Now, most of them are under human care. But on the happy side of that, in about 2016, we did find a population count of about 15 New Guinea singing dogs all across the island. So this is great news, of course, because they are not related to the ones under human care.
That's top speed for an old man.
So we are able to hopefully in the future expand that gene pool and hopefully bring back this species.
That's Victoria.
Now,
Ellie,
living
and
on an
Raina.
island, the only place, hopefully Piccolo here is going to show off why they are
Piccolo
called singing
and
dogs,
Zildjian.
although it's more of a bark. But when they get really into it, it actually sounds more like a whale song than a howl. Again, these are just barks, kind of in their older age, which I forgot to mention. They are 15 years old this year. They are our little old men around here. Sassy old men. But when they do get into their howl, they again sound like a whale. We do have a recording since they don't seem to want to howl. Too busy snacking.
They've heard this many times. They don't care.
Okay, well, that is actually what they sound like because that recording is these two, but they don't care at all. But we are blessed with that noise every single morning when we come in because they are very ready for their morning walk. Now, I will go back to their island living. So because they live on an island, there aren't very many places for them to go, right? So the only place to go is up. Now, believe it or not, these canines are very special because they have adaptations to help them climb. Now, that's very strange for a canine, but one of the first ones, honestly, Piccolo is showing off pretty well. They have a very flexible spine to help with climbing and jumping. Hi, I don't have your snacks. But they also have very interesting paws to help with this as well. It's kind of hard to tell, but when they face forward, their paw pads are actually much thicker than most other dogs or even cats. But this is to help not only give padding, but also to cushion when they are climbing up or down. Now their wrists are actually very flexible. They're able to turn them about 180 degrees. So almost, well, pretty much halfway. Now they can climb straight down any steep surfaces. So pretty amazing, very special for a canine. Now these guys are opportunistic hunters. They will eat almost anything that they can catch. Of course, being small rodents, maybe some lizards, anything like that you can think of. But one of their favorite delicacies is actually bird eggs. Now, because of this, I'm assuming they have adapted the ability to climb to then become nest robbers, which is pretty amazing to think about, seeing some dogs up in trees, right? Now, they might head out. Piccolo loves Pride Rock, as we like to call it, so he might hang out and demand that Rena give him more snacks. But they did really well out here. So one more time for our new guinea singing dogs. That was Piccolo and Silton. All right, everyone. Well, San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance is creating a world where all life thrives, and this has never been more important. As first responders in the field, we are there, applying a century's worth of first-hand knowledge to global conservation challenges. We collaborate, innovate, and hope to inspire to help people and wildlife thrive together for a healthy planet. Now, conservation is at the heart of everything that we do here, but we of course can't do it alone. We need dedicated allies like all of you. You can help support San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance by becoming a member, you can become a volunteer, or you can even help donate to fund some of our global conservation efforts. Now, your help can never be understated.
Sorry.
Why? Because when wildlife thrives, all life thrives. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a wonderful rest of your day at the San Diego Zoo. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. All right, let me know how you like the long videos on YouTube.
Oh.